Vinland, over 1,000 years ago, young Leif Erikson, son of the famed explorer Eric the Red, grew up steeped in the lore of his Viking ancestors. Driven by a desire to uncover the truths hidden within the Norse sagas, Leif embarked on a quest for knowledge and exploration. 500 years before Columbus, his journey led him to the shores of Vinland, a land shrouded in mystery and whispered tales of otherworldly beings. While establishing a trading post in Vinland, Leif and his crew encountered unknown creatures deep in the forest. Towering over them, the giants stood as guardians of the land. Despite initial disbelief, Leif and his men witnessed their majestic presence and the wild beauty of the Vinland's forests. The encounter left an indelible mark on them, reminding them of the mysteries that lurked in the uncharted wilderness of this new and mysterious land. Though forgotten by history, Leif Erikson's encounter with the group of mysterious beings stands as a testament to the spirit of adventure and discovery that was defined in the Viking Age over 10 centuries ago. In the frost-clad lands of the north, where the aurora dances across the night sky and the icy winds whisper ancient secrets, there lived a young boy named Leif Erikson. From the moment he drew his first breath, Leif was steeped in the lore of his ancestors. Tales of gods and monsters, heroes and villains, woven into the very fabric of his being. Born in 970, Leif Erikson was destined for a life of adventure. Raised by a captured slave named Threker, Leif grew up learning the ways of the world and the skills of a true Viking. Leif's thirst for knowledge and exploration led him to study the ancient sagas and listen intently to the stories of seafarers. Young Leif Erikson was enraptured by the tales of giants and trolls that echoed through the halls of his home in Greenland. Gathered around the fire on long winter nights, his father regaled him with stories of the mighty Jotnar, the colossal beings who inhabited the frozen realm of Jotunheim. Leif listened with wide-eyed wonder as he heard of Ymir, the ancient progenitor of the Jotnar, born from the primordial chaos of Niflheim and Muspelheim. His father spoke of Thrym, the cunning frost giant who dared to steal Thor's hammer, and of Skrymir, the towering giant who tested the strength of the Thunderer on his journey to Utgard. But it was not only tales of giants that captured Leif's imagination. His mother spoke of the trolls that lurked in the dark corners of the forest, their eyes glowing with malevolent intent. She warned him of the mountain trolls, brutish and strong, who roamed the peaks of the wilderness, and of the forest trolls, elusive and cunning, who delighted in leading travelers astray. She spoke, too, of the bridge trolls, their tolls exacted with sharp teeth and grasping claws, and of the Draugr, the restless spirits of the dead who guarded their tombs with unyielding fury. As Leif grew older, he found himself drawn deeper into the world of Norse mythology, captivated by the stories of Fenrir, the monstrous wolf destined to bring about the end of the world. He felt the chill of fear run down his spine as he heard of Fenrir's escape from his chains and his final devastating role in Ragnarok. And yet, even in the face of such darkness, Leif felt a thrill of excitement, a sense of adventure that called to him from the depths of his soul. With each passing day, Leif's longing to explore the world beyond Greenland grew stronger. He dreamed of embarking on his own epic journey, of encountering giants and trolls, of facing the challenges and perils of the unknown. And though he knew that such adventures were fraught with danger, he could not suppress the fire that burned within him, driving him ever onward toward his destiny. But as Leif grew older, he became aware and began to sense a shift in the world. The creatures of legend, once abundant and fearsome, had begun to fade into obscurity, their numbers dwindling with each passing generation. Where once they had ruled the land in abundance, now they seemingly existed only in the pages of dusty tomes and whispered tales told around flickering hearth fires. Yet despite their disappearance from the physical realm, the legends of these enigmatic creatures lived on in the hearts and minds of the people. From the frost-covered fjords of Norway to the mist-shrouded forests of Germany, Stories of giants and monsters permeated the folklore of Northern Europe, their presence felt in every shadow and every gust of wind. Among other tales stood the epic of Beowulf, a saga of courage and valor in the face of unimaginable evil. Leif was captivated by the exploits of the hero Beowulf as he battled the giant Grendel, the monstrous descendant of Cain, and his fearsome mother in the depths of their watery lair. He saw himself reflected in the brave warriors who fought alongside Beowulf, their swords flashing in the darkness as they waged war against the forces of darkness. But as Leif delved deeper into the stories of his ancestors, he couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to these legends than met the eye. He sensed a connection between the tales of old and the world he inhabited, a thread of truth that bound them together across time and space. And so, as he stood on the cusp of adulthood, Leif Erikson vowed to uncover the mysteries of his heritage, to seek out the truth hidden within the pages of legend and lore. Little did he know that his journey would lead him to the shores of Vinland, where the echoes of the past would rise up to meet him in a clash of destiny and fate. As a young man, Leif's quest for adventure took him far beyond the shores of Greenland. He yearned to explore the distant lands he had heard about in the tales of seafarers. With determination and the seed of curiosity in his heart, Leif set sail for Norway in search of new horizons. Arriving in Norway, Leif found himself amidst a thriving maritime culture, filled with tales of far-off lands and uncharted territories. He was welcomed by King Olaf, who recognized the potential in this young Viking explorer. Under the king's patronage, Leif discovered a passion for learning, studying the ancient sagas and absorbing the wisdom of the scholars at court. During his time in Norway, Leif Erikson also encountered the spread of Christianity, a new faith challenging the old Norse traditions. The teachings of this foreign religion intrigued him, and he became open to embracing the Christian faith. King Olaf, appreciating his potential, saw an opportunity to send him back to Greenland with a priest, hoping to spread the Christian message among the Norse settlers. Leif returned to Greenland, a changed man, carrying with him the knowledge of the wider world, the ancient Norse sagas, and the newfound teachings of Christianity. Eager to share this knowledge with his people, Leif became a mediator between the old Norse traditions and the emerging influence of Christianity. But Leif's insatiable desire for exploration still burned within him. He yearned to set sail and discover new lands beyond Greenland's shores. He longed to make his mark on the world and follow in the footsteps of his legendary father. Leif heard of a land discovered by a merchant named Bjarni Herjolfsson. Intrigued by the tales of this mysterious land, Leif purchased Bjarni's ships and embarked on his own expedition, accompanied by a crew of 35 men. In the twilight of the Viking Age, a dragon-headed longship cut through the waves like a beast hungry for conquest. On its prow stood Ericsson, son of Eric the Red, his eyes fixed on the horizon as he led his crew into the unknown. Their destination, Vinland, a land shrouded in mystery and whispered tales of otherworldly beings lurking in its depths. Leif had heard the rumors, the stories of giants and monsters that roamed the dense forests and jagged cliffs of this distant land. But like any true Viking warrior, he scoffed at the notion of fear, his heart ablaze with the spirit of adventure. After voyaging through treacherous waters, Leif stumbled upon a vast slab of rock and named it Helluland, which is believed to be modern-day Baffin Island. Undeterred by this initial disappointment, he continued sailing. Their voyage took them westward, across vast expanses of open sea, until they reached the rugged coastline of what is believed to be modern-day Newfoundland, Canada. Refusing to give up on his quest for new lands, Leif set sail southeast and encountered a magnificent mainland. During their time in Vinland, Leif and his crew not only survived, but also explored the surrounding area. They encountered indigenous people, known to the Vikings as the Skrælings, and managed to establish peaceful trading relations with them. This interaction demonstrated Leif's diplomatic skills and willingness to engage with different cultures. Leif also discovered valuable timber in the Vinland forests, which he recognized as a lucrative resource for trade back in Greenland. He and his crew harvested large quantities of timber, loading their ships to transport back home. This successful trade venture helped to strengthen the Greenlandic economy and solidify Leif's reputation as a skilled explorer and trader. Additionally, Leif continued to explore further southward along the coast, which is where their encounter with unknown creatures took place. While establishing a new trading post, they were felling timber in the woods. As the men ventured back to camp at dusk, they soon realized that they were not alone. The forest seemed to pulse with an ancient energy, a primal force that stirred the very earth beneath their feet. Strange sounds echoed through the trees, whispers carried on the wind, and shadows danced in the flickering light of their torches. It was as if the land itself was alive, watching, waiting. Leif and his companions pressed on, their senses alert for any sign of danger. But no amount of bravery could prepare them for what lay ahead. As they ventured deeper into the forest, they stumbled upon a clearing bathed in moonlight, a place of eerie calm amidst the chaos of the wilderness. It was there, amidst the towering trees and swaying grasses, that they first caught sight of them. The creatures of legend, the guardians of Vinland, standing tall and proud, their forms obscured by the shadows. They watched the newcomers with eyes that gleamed like embers in the night. At first, Leif and his men could scarcely believe what they saw. Were these the giants of Norse folklore, the Jotunheim of old? Or were they something else entirely? A breed of creature unknown to Viking sagas? Regardless of their origins, one thing was certain. These beings were no mere figments of imagination. They were real, tangible, and they held dominion over the land they called home. As the Vikings watched in awe, the creatures approached, their movements graceful yet powerful. They spoke no words, but their presence spoke volumes, conveying a sense of ancient wisdom and untold secrets. Before him stood a towering male Sasquatch, flanked by two younger males, their presence imposing yet strangely serene. Nestled close to the female Sasquatch was a baby Sasquatch peeking out with wide, curious eyes. As Leif and his men observed the family of hairy giants in silence, they marveled at their majestic presence and the wild beauty of the Vinland forest. The giants moved with a grace that seemed otherworldly, their immense forms disappearing into the dense foliage with ease. Though no words were exchanged, the encounter left an indelible mark on Leif and his companions, reminding them of the mysteries that lurked in the uncharted wilderness. With a sense of wonder and respect, they bid farewell to the family of beasts, their hearts filled with the thrill of discovery. Leif Erikson and his crew took stock of their surroundings, ensuring that they left behind no trace of their presence. They dismantled their temporary shelters and extinguished any remaining fires, leaving the land as undisturbed as they had found it. Leif, ever the explorer, spent his final days in Vinland, observing the natural wonders of the land. He studied the flora and fauna, noting their similarities and differences from those of Greenland and Iceland. With a sense of awe, he marveled at the vast forests and sprawling landscapes, understanding that they held secrets waiting to be discovered. In addition to his observations, Leif Erikson also took the time to interact with the indigenous people of Vinland. He traded goods with them, exchanging tools and trinkets for knowledge about the land and its inhabitants. Through these interactions, Leif gained insights into their way of life and the challenges they faced in this untamed wilderness. As the time for departure drew near, Leif Erikson made a solemn vow to return one day to Vinland. He recognized the potential for exploration and settlement in this new land, and he was determined to see it through. With a mixture of excitement and anticipation, Leif and his crew bid farewell to Vinland, setting sail for Greenland once more, their minds filled with visions of future adventures and discoveries. As they sailed away from Vinland, the land of giants and monsters, Leif Erikson and his companions knew that they had witnessed something truly extraordinary. They had glimpsed the mysteries of the unknown, the wonders that lay beyond the edge of the world. And though their journey had come to an end, their adventures were far from over. For as long as there were uncharted lands to explore and secrets to uncover, the spirit of the Viking warriors would live on, blazing a trail through history and legend alike. Over 5 centuries would pass before another explorer would set foot on the shores of the Americas, and that man would go down in history as Christopher Columbus. Leif Erikson's feat, though remarkable, had been forgotten by the annals of time, but the echoes of his discovery reverberated through the generations, inspiring future explorers to set sail for new horizons. As Leif Erikson's story faded into obscurity, the world shifted and changed. The age of exploration dawned, and European powers set their sights on distant lands across the seas. Christopher Columbus, an Italian explorer sailing under the Spanish flag, was driven by a burning desire to find a quicker trade route to Asia. Unbeknownst to him, the lands in the West had already been touched by the presence of the Norsemen centuries before. Columbus embarked on his journey with 3 ships, the Santa Maria, the Pinta, and the Nina. He navigated the vast expanse of the Atlantic Ocean, fueled by a mixture of ambition, determination, and a hint of wanderlust. After weeks at sea, his crew spotted land on October 12, 1492. The sighting marked the dawn of a new era, as Columbus became the first European explorer in over 500 years to lay claim to the Americas. News of Columbus's discovery spread rapidly, and Europe was captivated by the tales of the untamed lands he had encountered. The age of exploration was in full swing, and expeditions were launched to establish colonies, claim territories, and exploit the abundant resources of the New World. The Americas became a melting pot of cultures, a collision of old and new, as European powers vied for dominance over these vast and uncharted territories. But as the European colonizers settled in the Americas, erected cities, and imposed their ways of life upon the indigenous peoples, the spirit of exploration that had fueled Leif Erikson and his Viking predecessors began to fade. The focus shifted from discovery to conquest, from seeking new lands to subjugating those already inhabited. The spark of curiosity that had ignited the age of exploration was overshadowed by the lust for wealth and power. It is a tragedy that Leif Erikson's role in the discovery of the Americas was overshadowed by the exploits of Christopher Columbus. Both men were driven by a thirst for adventure, a desire to chart new territories and unravel the secrets of the unknown. Leif's discovery, however, was a culmination of centuries of Norse exploration and seafaring prowess, whereas Columbus stumbled upon the Americas in search of a different destination. Perhaps it is time to rewrite the history books to honor the forgotten explorer who journeyed across the Atlantic long before Columbus set sail. Leif Erikson navigated treacherous seas, braved unknown dangers, and left an indelible mark on the world. His legacy deserves recognition, not as a mere footnote in history, but as a symbol of perseverance and the indomitable spirit of human exploration. So let us remember Leif Erikson, the forgotten explorer, who set sail for Vinland and brought tales of a new world back to Greenland. Let us celebrate his courage, his thirst for knowledge, and his unwavering determination to uncover the mysteries of the unknown. Leif Erikson, the true pioneer of the Americas, may have been forgotten by the annals of time, but his spirit lives on in the hearts of those who dare to dream and venture into the uncharted territories of life.